Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. I'm your anchor. Name. In a volatile Middle East, tensions between Iran and the U.S. continue to escalate. The latest development comes as President Donald Trump has rejected Tehran's proposal for a ceasefire in exchange for access to the Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway that connects the Gulf to the world's oil markets. We'll bring you updates on this developing story, as well as other key events, including a Japanese supertanker's daring escape from Iran's naval blockade and Russia's response to the crisis. Tensions between Iran and the U.S. continue to escalate as President Trump has expressed reservations over a proposed peace plan aimed at averting military action. The situation in the Middle East remains volatile as tensions between Iran and the U.S. continue to escalate. A recent proposal from the Iranian regime has sparked disappointment among U.S. officials, including President Donald Trump. The plan, which aims to end the ongoing conflict and reopen the Strait of Hormuz, was presented to Trump during a meeting with his national security team on Monday. According to a U.S. official, Trump is unhappy with the proposal, citing concerns that it would allow Iran to delay discussions about its nuclear program. Instead, Washington wants a comprehensive peace plan that addresses both the conflict and Iran's nuclear ambitions. The Iranian regime, however, has offered to set aside discussion of its nuclear program until the war is ended and disputes over shipping from the Gulf are resolved. The proposal was presented by Iran's Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif during a recent summit hosted by Pakistan. However, the talks have stalled since then, with Germany's Chancellor Friedrich Merz expressing concerns that Iran appears to be gaining the upper hand in the negotiations. Trump's unhappiness with the latest proposal is seen as a significant setback for efforts to resolve the conflict. The situation has serious implications for global security and trade. The Strait of Hormuz, through which a significant portion of the world's oil passes, remains closed due to ongoing tensions between Iran and the U.S. If the conflict escalates further, it could have devastating consequences for the global economy. The international community is watching closely as tensions continue to escalate in the Middle East. As tensions escalate in the Middle East, a dramatic and unprecedented move by a Japanese oil tanker highlights the escalating conflict's reach. A supertanker linked to Japan has attempted to sail through the Strait of Hormuz, a move that could potentially be a first in months since the Iran war began. The vessel, operated by Japanese shipping company NYK Line, was spotted heading towards the strait early yesterday morning. According to Bloomberg Politics, the ship had previously been anchored off the coast of Oman and was loaded with crude oil from Saudi Arabia's state-owned Saudi Aramco. It is believed that the ship was attempting to exit the Persian Gulf in response to increased security threats posed by Iran's military actions in the region. The Iranian government has warned ships not to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, citing concerns about potential attacks. U.S. and U.K. naval forces are also present in the area as part of a joint operation to secure shipping lanes. This development comes amid rising tensions between the U.S. and Iran over the U.S.'s withdrawal from the 2015 nuclear deal. The situation has led to increased military buildups by both countries, with Iran threatening to close the Strait of Hormuz if its oil exports are threatened. The attempted passage by the NYK Line vessel raises concerns about the potential impact on global energy markets, as it could disrupt supply chains and drive up prices. The Japanese government has confirmed that the ship is under Japanese control, but it remains unclear what measures will be taken to ensure its safe passage through the strait. As tensions escalate over Middle Eastern politics, the global energy market is experiencing a sudden shift, with crude oil prices surging above $110. The price of oil has surged above $110 a barrel in London as traders await the U.S. response to a proposal from Iran to end the war and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. This strategic waterway is crucial for global oil supplies. According to Bloomberg's Anthony Di Paola, the proposal from Tehran aims to bring an end to the conflict between Iran and the United States, which began in 2019. The U.S. has been seeking to force Iran into negotiations over its nuclear program, while Iran insists that any talks would be impossible without lifting sanctions. The Strait of Hormuz, which connects the Persian Gulf to the Gulf of Oman, is a key shipping route for oil tankers carrying crude from Saudi Arabia and other producers in the region. The U.S. has increased military presence in the area in an effort to protect its interests and secure the flow of oil. The oil price rise is driven by concerns that any escalation of the conflict could disrupt global supplies. Major powers, including Saudi Arabia and Russia, have called for restraint on all sides as they weigh the implications of a potential war. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is expected to meet with his Iranian counterpart in Brussels later this week to discuss the proposal. The outcome of these talks will determine whether a new path forward can be found to resolve the crisis. As tensions in the region continue to simmer, President Vladimir Putin has made a significant statement about Russia's stance on regional stability and its allies. Russian President Vladimir Putin has reaffirmed his country's commitment to strengthening its strategic relationship with Iran and supporting stability in the Middle East. During a meeting with Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi in St. Petersburg on April 27, Putin expressed gratitude for a message from Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei and pledged to maintain and develop Russia's ties with Tehran. Putin stated that he hopes the Iranian people will overcome their current challenges and achieve peace in the country. He also emphasized that Russia would act in the interests of Iran and the wider region, seeking to serve the peoples of the area to bring about a swift and lasting peace. The meeting comes as part of Araghchi's regional tour, which includes stops in Pakistan and Oman. The visit highlights the strengthening bond between Russia and Iran, two nations that have historically been close allies. Their cooperation on regional security issues has been growing in recent years, with both countries seeking to counterbalance Western influence in the Middle East. The development matters as it underscores Russia's strategic interest in maintaining a peaceful Middle East. By supporting stability in the region, Putin is signaling that Russia seeks to promote its own interests and those of its allies in the area. The move also reflects Iran's growing importance as a regional player, with the country increasingly seeking to assert its influence through diplomatic means. As tensions in the Middle East continue to simmer, Putin's statement serves as a reminder of the complex web of alliances and rivalries that shape the region's geopolitics. We're now turning our attention to a high-stakes development in global energy security, as reports emerge that a Russian-linked superyacht has bypassed naval restrictions. A Russian-linked superyacht has successfully navigated the heavily restricted Strait of Hormuz, a major shipping lane at the epicenter of the U.S.-Iran conflict. The 142-meter Nord, valued at over $500 million, departed a Dubai marina on Friday afternoon and crossed the strait on Saturday morning before reaching Muscat early Sunday. The passage is significant given Iran's severe restrictions on traffic through the strait since February. Daily passages have plummeted to just a handful of mainly merchant vessels, a stark contrast to the average of 125 to 140 daily transits before the conflict escalated on February 28. The reason for this rare transit remains unclear, with a representative for Russian billionaire Alexei Mordashov declining to comment. The incident raises questions about how the luxury yacht secured permission to traverse the route. It also highlights the complexities of the U.S.-Iran conflict, particularly given Russia's close ties with Iran. The two countries have strengthened their intelligence and security cooperation since signing a 2025 treaty, which is likely to be a concern for Western powers. The incident has significant implications for global oil supply chains. The Strait of Hormuz handles approximately one-fifth of the world's oil supply, making it a critical waterway for international trade. Any disruption to this route can have far-reaching consequences for energy markets and economies around the world. As tensions between Iran and Western powers continue to escalate, the security of global shipping lanes remains a pressing concern. That's all for today's news recap. We'll continue to monitor the developing situation between Iran and the U.S. For up-to-date coverage, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Stay informed with the latest news from around the world, and we'll see you in the next video.